So this is going to be sort of a mundane catch-up life video. I go through these cycles of making videos and I'm like, oh yeah, and I've got, stuff. And then my inspiration kind of goes underground for a bit. And so I become quiet, and I'm in a quiet period right now. So excuse the sort of like hush over here. Morley's been a bit sick. He's had, I guess, a gut infection, and so he stopped eating well. He was eating about half the amount he normally eats, and so that was kind of like worrying me for a bit. And then finally I took him in to the vet and got him on medication, and it's helped quite a bit, so that's a relief. So he went through his 2-week period of meds, and then once it was finished, then it came back. We're on meds again, but he looks a lot better because he had lost 6 pounds, which is a lot, like 6 pounds in 2 weeks. But he's definitely back to his regular weight, and he's doing much better now. So it just might be something that he'll have to be on for the rest of his life. So he had a bath this morning. He gets a bath every other day, and because he has a skin issue that won't go away, it's a staph infection. So our routine is he gets a bath, or he gets a shower, and then I get a shower. So it's 2-for-1 deal there. I'm such a dork. My friend, she runs a rescue called Beeple's Buddies, and she helped me rescue Jack when he had cancer, and he was basically living on the streets, and she was really sweet and got this mug for me for Christmas because it reminded her of Jack. So I've been sort of nursing on this mug since I got it. While technically this cat's name is Boris, we're still pretending it's Jack instead. I'll leave a link to her rescue in the description in case you want to check her out. Oh, and the other thing that I discovered that you might be interested in, especially if you are a coffee drinker or not a coffee drinker, is I found Teachino, which is a brand that does mushroom coffee. They've got this turkey tail astragalus drink that is a coffee, but it's a non-coffee. It is so good! Oh my god! See, I like the taste of coffee. I'm one of the people who likes it. It's just I can't drink it because it whacks my whole system out. So this is so good. Anyway, it is in my kit link below if you need to find it on Amazon or something. So speaking of Kit is a place where you can put affiliate links. I've had some questions about my equipment that I use, so I put all of my equipment, I think it's all there. All of my equipment that I use in the link, and then you can see a description and a photo, and it's under my profile. Plus I've put other sort of magical tools and stuff that I really like, or that I've mentioned in videos in case you need to find out where to get them. This season is always kind of like a rush and something I'd like to change because it's a bit overwhelming. This like warmth and coziness that you create in the winter that is sort of naturally supposed to be there in sort of the natural cycles of life is, so hijacked by all this false light and commercialism and stuff, which I'm making a dedicated effort so that next year I am able to go into the natural rhythm of things and not feel so swept up in the false expectations around it. I don't know what that's gonna look like yet, but what else? I had a migraine on New Year's Eve, which was not fun, but I did start my bullet journal on the 1st, and I did my year ahead spread, which holy moly, it was good. It's generally in an upward direction for the year, but there are gonna be some more challenges, and I'm like, holy shit. Sorry. This past year has been so relentless. I don't know about you, but somebody labeled it as relentless, and I would say yes, that's exactly the word that this year has been. Oh, but on a good note, I did get some acupuncture for this neck shoulder thing that I've been dealing with for months. And now I absolutely know the root of the issue, which is like just my muscles were so tight, they were cutting off my nerves, essentially. They're like impinging on my nerves. So now I know exactly where to go and sort of fix that. And the acupuncture has totally helped a lot in case you ever have an issue like that. It also helps with sciatica in case that's a thing for you. And it helps with migraines, apparently, though I have not tried that yet. And I got a hanging pull-up bar to put in my doorway to help strengthen and stretch the muscles here. And it feels so good just to hang. I don't know if you guys do that. You should. That's my high recommendation for taking care of the body. I've also been just catching up on like, you know, like sort of the logistical, or is that the right word? Things to do to sort of get myself prepared for like rituals and things in the future. Am I in focus? It looks like it's out of focus, but I don't know. Maybe it's not. So I've got a double strength calendula salve brewing. It's actually finished. I just have to make it for Morley's infected skin, which I'm excited to use because I've been using the regular strength calendula salve that I made. If you didn't catch that video, I'll put a link up. Is it there? It's one of the sides so that you can watch that video in case you want to make it. And and it's really lovely to put on him after his bath because his skin gets really dry and crusty. It makes him itchy, so it helps soothe that for sure, and it helps regenerate new skin cells. So I've been using that with much success. And I've made cascarilla powder, which is super simple. It's just eggshells, and I use the eggshells from Morley's food. He's starting to call for me. After his sunbathing, the eggshells from Morley's food, and I grind them up, and you can use them instead of salt if you're making a circle or just protection. And it also doubles as snail food. And I have snails, which you guys may not know, actually. Here's the story around the snails. So, hold on. I'll tell you in a second. I gotta go check on the moo. Get it. Get your water. I'm gonna have to pop up here in a second. Otherwise, he'll knock the water bowl over. So where was I? Snails. So there's a lot of snails in the Los Angeles area, and I particularly love them, and they're not treated well, and they're stepped on all the time. Anyway, I have also stepped on snails, my share of snails by accident, and no. This is my life. He's like having an infant or a 2-year-old. Snails. So I've stepped on my share of snails, and it always breaks my heart. And there was one that I stepped on in the evening one night, and I always do what I can if they're savable. So this particular one, I'd cracked sort of like the back part. What's up, buddy? But it wasn't a whole like shell break. So I brought it in to see if it could repair itself, and lo and behold, it did. The break wasn't bad enough, but I told it if it survived, I would give it a home for the rest of its life. Ay. So I gave it, so I created a terrarium for it, and I found it a little snail partner, and they were so in love, and they slept together, they cuddled, it was so cute, and then Snail partner passed away. So this one's a she. I mean, they're hermaphrodites, but I call it a she because it tends to take the female role on more. So she got depressed. Like, they can smell. Okay. I think he'll be quiet now. Where was I? Snails. So, I started collecting snails, as I found them. One, because I didn't want them to be eaten. There was a snail massacre in my backyard, which really upset me, by, I think it was raccoons. Where was I? Oh, so I would find I find snails and I bring them into the terrarium, and I've now accumulated 11. It would be 12, but another one of them passed away. But they're doing fairly well. And the last one I found was really big. It's bigger than all the others. So anyway, she was able to heal herself, that first one, and now she's got a whole bunch of companions, and they sleep together. They have a little community. They're really, you don't think about them being intelligent to a certain degree, but when her mate passed away, I felt her grieving. She was depressed about it, and they find each other. When I pulled the snail shell out, the deceased snail was still in the shell, but I put it on the table where the terrarium was, and I don't keep a lid on the terrarium. They can crawl up and down and whatever on the outside and stuff. They don't really tend to leave very much. So she must have smelled her way out and found its little body and sniffed it or did whatever she needed to do, and went back and then curled up into her shell for a few weeks and didn't want to come out. And they do that too. They hibernate like that, but she went into a hibernation mode and was less active. So Noodle, say hi. Say hi. I don't want you to pee on me though, okay? Ugh. Let's put this here. Okay. So we'll see if this works. Yuck. Yuck. You're wet. I think I'll close this out. I do have some video ideas in the making. I just have to get around to them and find some space, because I've got other life things that are demanding my energy at the moment. So yeah. Anyway, Happy New Year. I hope this threshold has been a good one for you to step into and brings you everything that you want. Bye. ¿Qué pasa, señor? Ow. Aw, neck. Shit. Okay, let me get up first, huh?